Jeff up a little bit here.
Month never ended.
Okay, call to order the regular meeting of the Tracy City Council at 6:30 PM on Monday, May 13th, 2019. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, please be seated.
We're all blessed.
All right, approval of the minutes from April 22nd.
Make a motion to approve the minutes from the April meeting and the Board of Appeals meeting.
Second.
First and second, any discussion or corrections? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Approval of the agenda. It looks like we've got a couple add-ons.
10E and 10F, it's approval of malt sale liquor at both Tracy Lanes and Casey's General Store.
Okay, we get a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve as amended.
Second.
First and second, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Does anybody know of any conflicts of interest this evening? Hearing none, we'll move on. Public comment. Would the public like to comment on anything that is not on the agenda? Okay. Okay, reports. The Ehlers post-issuance debt compliance procedures.
These are two kind of, both A and B pretty much piggyback on top of each other. They are it's a compliance policy that we as a city have to accept as part of the terms for accepting those bonds and for the sale of those bonds. It's that we'll keep good record keeping, we'll participate in arbitrage, which is required by law anyway, and we'll do continuing disclosures as requested. The second portion of it, B, is that we'll remain in compliance with any federal regulations as they change.
Does anybody have any questions or discussion on this?
I'd make a motion then to approve Resolution 2019-34 for the post-insurance issuance debt compliance.
Second that.
Okay, we have a first and a second. No other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries for approval of Resolution 2019-34, Ehlers post-insurance debt compliance. Southwest Health Improvement Partnership Grant.
Part of the Tracy Active Living Board, the Southwest Health Improvement Partnership has a grant, a mini grant application, and they encourage you to do certain things. And one of the things that the board came up with and SHIP also requested was to put signs like that one over behind Shane over there throughout town in the crosswalks. And those signs, we ordered them, and within 2 or 3 days they were fully funded by the grant, so we have zero cost into them, and those will rotate around town and sit in multiple crosswalks. Both the PD and Shane's guys will move them as they see fit here and there. One's going to start out here, and then the other will start out over by the pool as the busy season starts for the pool. So you'll see them move around town and stuff, but they were just kind of nice because they were fully funded and they're expensive. So it was $946
For two?
for two. Yep,
984.
$984. Okay.
Is there any, Shane probably, crosswalks going across Highway 14? They're marked as crosswalks?
Not currently, no.
Okay.
There is an effort by the Active Living Council to
I
get.
was just thinking maybe that would be a good place to.
Right at center, and 14 is proposed, but there's needs to be some work with the approaches, handicap approaches and that, for them to get anything done there. And that would cross into the bike lane, which is on the edge of the road. But,
On the east side there,
yep,
yeah. Is it, geez, I thought that,
I think it's on the west side is what they planned. It'll cross,
because neither side of Center north of 14 has any sidewalks, so it's, the
yeah,
ramp is, on the corner of the park there is done, so there's just ramping on the east corner?
well, I think they'd only do one crosswalk there.
Yeah,
So I think they'd go to like a meeting point, which is pretty much like an L-shaped slab.
yeah,
And then I think it crossed into another little slab to nowhere, and that was legal to get into the bike lane. So they just have to be off the street when they cross,
yeah,
so they can't cross onto the street. Because the concern was when the trucks turn there, they're always hugging the curbs.
Oh, yeah, I know.
On either side, so
yeah.
is to keep them out of that area when they cross. But there's a proposal drawn up. Last year the gas company had a mess there, so we didn't
Yeah.
really do much with it, but it might come alive this year again, so.
'Cause that would be a spot, because I know there's a lot of foot traffic
Yep.
there, so,
They don't want it on the east or west side of town because of the speed.
yep.
You get someone on the east side of town and people are coming in at 60 miles an hour yet at the 35 sign, so they didn't want to wipe anybody out there, so they thought that was the most recommended, being the path was out to the Swift Lake Park
Yeah.
already, so.
Cool.
Okay, any other questions or discussions on that? Petitions and requests for communications, the airport maintenance and operation grant contract.
I can touch on this one. Every year we renew the M&O contract. It's pretty much free money to the city. What they do is they pay, in the past it's been 66%, but in the last, I think 3 years, they paid 75% of all the maintenance costs, which is mowing, snow removal, gravel, hauling any gravel or repairs, kind of the minor maintenance type work out there. They'll get reimbursed to us on a quarterly basis, so that's just a contract, grant contract with MnDOT Aeronautics to carry through with the grant.
Okay, is this something we need to approve then, or
Yep.
just, we do?
Has to have a resolution, I believe.
Yep.
Yes, okay, I see it down here.
So I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2019-32, the airport maintenance and operation grant contract.
Second.
First and second, any discussion or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Approval of resolution 2019-32, airport maintenance and operation grant contract. Okay, and approval of the rural fire contracts.
So we received all of the rural fire contracts back, with the exception of Lake Sarah Township had declined the coverage that they previously had. We only had 3 sections of theirs, and I think they kind of wanted to just go to one provider, and they may have gotten a cheaper price or something. There's hard to say, but otherwise the rest of them all came back. They've all been paid. With your approval tonight to approve them all, we'll get the contracts back to the townships.
Okay,
Make a motion to approve the rural fire contracts.
Second.
first and second, any discussion or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries to approve the rural fire contracts. Library basement remodel bid.
So admittedly, I don't know everything about this because it started before I was here. But there was a combination of 2 things that led to the moving up of the remodeling of the library basement. It's always been something that's been on the library board's radar, but there was a grant process that was applied for and awarded, and there was a donation from an individual that was also to be used for library, and that sits in the trust fund for that. So that being said, once we started getting into this a little bit further, we ended up finding there were some B3 standards and some things that were going to make it very complicated, very expensive, and I think we owe Shane a little bit of thank yous here, because he actually sat down, wrote out the scope of work, went through the building code, made everything so that we could issue the bids ourselves without getting engineers involved in it. And he's got a lot of time and effort into it, which I greatly appreciate that, because it's beyond me. And with that being said, we actually got 2 bids back. We sent the bids out once. We didn't get any replies back. We sent the bid out a second time, or we posted it in the paper a second time. We got bids back, and we got 2 bids. One for $129,988, which is actually below our grant price, which is good, because if something comes up, the council did previously approve to do these repairs and to apply for this grant, because that was the order to do it then. But now we need the council to approve accepting one of these bids. The second bid came in at $138,821.63. Both bids are from reputable companies right here out of Tracy, which is a great thing. We didn't have an out-of-towner come in and cut the legs out from anybody, so I guess my recommendation is to accept the low bid, since they're both good reputable companies, but that's a council decision.
Is, under the scope, does that cover all their HVAC upgrades that they had to work around, and
Yeah,
that's electrical, the plumbing, that's
Yep.
that's everything?
it would include the 2 central air units and 2 furnaces, and they'll have all the lighting for the basement, some of the low voltage communications,
Okay.
running the wires and stuff, and then all the ductwork in the basement, and plumbing in the floor for the bathroom.
And the reason I asked is we had talked about it before, where, well, we have to separate it into 2 projects and all that. I just want to make sure we got it, with your efforts, brought it all back into one, and we got it all
Yep.
covered, so, okay.
That's what solved having to meet the B3 standards, which is, the B3 standards would have put the HVAC above the full job here.
Yeah.
So fortunately, we applied for an exemption, and we got it because of the age of the building and the size of the community, so we're pretty fortunate with that.
Well, then I'd make a motion to accept the low bid of the $129,988.
I'll second.
First and second, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, so the motion will carry to approve the bid from Daniels Peterson Construction for $129,988. I'd like to reiterate the thank you to Shane for the work put into that.
Not a problem. Thanks.
Office manager,
So, and I spoke to a couple of you about this, and actually all of you in one facet or another. The office staff always had an office manager position, and when the previous city administrator took over from office manager to administrator, she moved her office into there and conducted and tried to juggle both jobs and stuff. Since then, that office manager wasn't replaced because of, how it was laid out. It's definitely a position that, in my opinion, the city needs. It's a position that we've had historically, and I would like to open that position with council's permission and offer it only to current office staff, so that we're not creating a new position, but we're creating the position from in-house staff that we have. And that's, I guess, what my request is.
and this is already in the budget, correct?
It's a line item, the pay scale for this is a line item that's already in our budget, yes.
Well, if you need a motion, I'd make a motion, go ahead and recreate that position.
I'd second that.
First and second, any discussion on that? All in favor then?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, motion will carry to reopen the office manager position to be advertised in-house, correct?
Yes,
Yes.
correct.
All right. Okay, on to the approval of the sale of malt liquor license for Tracy Lanes. And is this something we can do both of them consecutively, or do we need to split them up?
You could do them both consecutively.
Everybody good with doing that? Okay,
I'd make a motion to approve the malt liquor license for Tracy Lanes and Casey's, provided that the appropriate fees have been paid.
we have a first and a second. Is there any discussion or questions?
So you will be getting a request like this again in a couple months, because Tracy Lane is
Change
being
owner.
sold.
Being sold, yep.
So right now, it's still in Terry Scher's name, so he's actually applying. So when you see it come through again, you'll
No,
know.
that was gonna be a question I had, but you beat me to it, so.
All right.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries to approve the on-sale malt liquor license for Tracy Lanes and the off-sale malt liquor license for Casey's General Store. Resolution 2019-33, amending Resolution 2019-26, waiving special, is it assessment for
Assessments.
parcel located at 173 9th Street.
So I made a mistake and Diane found it.
Good girl.
It was, the total included some items that were not, that should not be waived, water fee and
Solid waste.
solid waste. So, we did talk to the, property owner, or what's gonna be the new property owner, well aware of the situation. Definitely wants to get this resolved tonight so that she can get it filed and get the taxes paid in time to not get penalties. So hopefully this is, acceptable to you guys and we can get it fixed and move forward.
I'd make a motion then to approve 2019-33, amending the waiving of special assessments.
Second it.
First and second, any other discussion or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, resolution 2019-33, amending resolution 2019-26, waiving special assessment for parcel located at 173 9th Street is approved. Municipal accounts payable. Can we get a motion for that?
I'd make a motion for on the consent calendars, approve the accounts payable with Breakthrough Beverage and airport minutes.
Second. First and second, has everybody had a chance to read through the minutes?
Quite lengthy.
It's back when we were still doing them word by word.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion carries for without Breakthrough Beverage and airport minutes.
No, it was with Breakthrough Beverage.
That was with Breakthrough?
Did it backwards this time.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, okay.
Waiting for the sleepy guy over here.
So I have to do it without breakthrough?
Yeah.
I make a motion to approve the municipal accounts payable without breakthrough beverage.
Second.
First and second, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries to approve without Breakthrough Beverage.
Just pay us, that's all we ask.
Okay, I'm not seeing any unfinished business or new business. Anybody have any communications? In that case, I would just like to bring up that this next weekend, next Saturday, is cleanup day for the city. Highly encourage everybody to take advantage of that and bring their stuff out. And if if you're available and have the energy to come out and volunteer to help those that may not be able to do it, please do come down and offer your assistance. It would be very much appreciated.
What's the weather forecast for Saturday, Shane?
It rains every year.
Every year.
Yep. Wear your hats and bring your rain jackets. So, can I get a motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. We are adjourned.